Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. We are going to be working on the Reaper today from Pain-Free Crafts, a design by Daryl Bevan. Something I've been working on for a year and a half, 2 years now, as a present for a friend. Believe it or not, it's somebody who loves Halloween and who I haven't stitched for before. So that's why I'm doing this project, because I really, really want to be able to give that to him this year. And it would be really cool to be able to do that. So we are stitching on a roller frame. And I'm going to be doing some two-handed stitching here. I don't have my other camera set up. I've been just kind of lazy about getting that up. It's a little easier for me to stream if I don't set up the second camera. But I don't know. I'm sure I'll set it up again at some point. But for right now, I'm just kind of like, I just want to stitch and talk. I don't have to worry about the camera being on me. So we're going to just focus on the project is what we're going to do. So we're going to make some progress today on this baby. But we're getting towards the beginning of 2021. Getting super excited. Super excited. And uh-oh, am I super excited enough to have a pair of scissors up here? Dooby-dooby-doo. I was stitching yesterday. I don't think I was stitching downstairs. I might not have scissors. Wah. Yep. You'd think as many times as I've started to stream without scissors that I'd make sure that I had some. And it looks like I don't. Whoever's here, hang on. I'll be right back. I gotta go get a pair of scissors. Skeezers. Hold on. Be right back. Yes, indeed. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I went downstairs to get a pair of scissors, and husband grabbed me. He's like, "Did you see this pass by Fitzpatrick yesterday? Dolphins game?" And my husband never, ever shows me football highlights, so I had to stop and look because it must have been pretty amazing, and yet it was. Good morning, everybody. Sorry. I started the stream and realized I didn't have scissors. I had to run downstairs. Morning cars. Morning. It feels like it's Christmas night all over again. Hey, Sharon. What's up, Truffles? Hey, Daphne. Hey, Enor. Storm, Charlene, Cars, Botch. What's up, Mayhem? Good morning, guys. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Hot diggity dog. We're going to make some stitching progress. I am like so psyched for stitching this year. Do I say that every end of December, beginning of January? I don't know. I probably do. But this year, I really feel like it's going to happen. We're going to get some finishes. We're going to be doing awesome. Everybody's going to get finishes. Pulling out some stitching. Oh, pulling out some stitching. Gotcha. You're sitting, you got your coffee? I got I got a little coffee myself today. Got a little Dunkin', wait, no, Krispy Kreme. My body is like freaking out a little bit about all the caffeine. You'd think that with the diet soda that I've had in my life that I wouldn't be necessarily really super sensitive to caffeine, but turns out it wasn't that much caffeine because I have definitely been feeling the very high alertness of one who is getting the caffeine now. Arthur next door is barking early. Barking early. All right, we're gonna make progress today. I'm gonna make some progress. Nope, it's this one. I worked on reading Waterloo plays yesterday, and I did some more on the Lincoln Memorial one. So today Reaper will get some attention. All right. This thing is really rocking this morning. And I mean like rocking, not in a good way. Why is it rocking? Stuff loose? Yeah, it feels like something's loose. Hold on a second. Maybe I got a screw loose. Let's see, tighten that one up and that one up. Let me pull this one up here a second. No, that one feels tight. This one feels. Oh, it feels tight. It feels loose up here. Aha, it is loose. Oh, I see. That's right. I had that issue with tightening. That should be better now. All right, good deal. All right. Hey, Ellie Belly. No stitching, just hanging out. Well, that's good. Let me just make sure that I get my whole project. I'm going to need a new stand. I think I'm breaking the one that I'm using right now for my camera. There we go. All right. Yes, we all do have a few screws loose. Hey, Bully, what's up? You already got your coffee installed. Nice. In the grocery store, got gas, ate breakfast, all the things. Wow, you're up early and rolling this morning. Hey, Allie, good morning. Hey, Sky Fox, what's up? How you doing? Disney Princess Q&A a bit later. Don't want to miss it. Getting distracted by stitching. Oh, it is so easy to get distracted by stitching. So easy. So very easy. Let's see here. Here we go. There's that. Oh, let me make this bigger. There we go. Hot diggity dog diggity. It's still a little. Got a snag already underneath. Why do I have a snag already? I'm going to ignore it because I don't want to slow myself down, but such is life. Snags are inevitable. Story of 2020, babies. So the freezer is indeed dying. I don't know if we talked about that the other night, but it is indeed dying. Can't even keep ice cold anymore. Well, can't even freeze ice. So it's been dying a slow death over the last probably like 5 days. So we went ahead and ordered a new fridge yesterday and did it all online. I'm going to get it from the Home Depot. Really wasn't, I mean, it's crazy how expensive fridges are nowadays. But it's a combination of finding a fridge that it won't break the bank, as well as a fridge that um, will fit in our spot where it goes, and then also that they actually will be able to deliver to us within a week, because I don't want to buy a fridge and then wait, a month to get it with shortages right now. So we purposely picked one that they had in stock. We should be getting it on Thursday. So, and I'm not sure when on Thursday, because they say usually they deliver on Thursday afternoons, and but it's New Year's Eve, so I don't know if they're going to be doing that, but well, hopefully. So for now, we bought a bag of ice, put it in the freezer, and at least that'll maintain everything, or help maintain everything until we get the new one. But that was not fun. Out with the old, in with the new. Hey, Morses, haven't seen you in a long time. Welcome. Happy holidays. Yeah, see, I've been in this house for 16 years now, and that fridge looked old when I moved in. So we've got a lot of really old appliances that we just never changed out. Probably like a lot of the original appliances, because the house is like 25, 30 years old. And like there's a ridiculously old dishwasher. We just wash our dishes by hand, so don't worry about that. And then the stove, which has a mind of its own. It's hotter than it's supposed to be. Cooks faster than it's supposed to. But we'll eventually replace them all slowly. Ah, man. I don't want to become famous. Josh? Don't want to become famous. All right. Need new burners for the electric stove. Turned one on and it took the flames. Holy crap, that is scary. That is no fun. Yeah, I had a really good Christmas. Thanks for asking. Yep. I'm real excited about 2021. I think it's gonna be a humdinger. Be a humdinger. If we can all just get there. Everybody's staying safe. What else is going on here? Over the last 2 decades, everything in the kitchen and laundry has been replaced, sometimes twice. Dang. Yeah, we haven't. This will be in 16 years. This will be the first thing that we've replaced. We actually had an issue with the washer earlier in the year. I can't remember when, but we had an issue where the basic gist of it was the lid. The washer was not registering that the lid was closed, so it wouldn't start the wash. That little mechanism that tells it that, and so I don't know how my husband did it, but he did something to kind of jimmy it and get it to get it to actually work. We had to actually take the top of the washer off and do something. But anyway, it's still been working. So thankfully, we haven't had to buy a new washer dryer set, but we will, because we know we need to at some point. But we've been holding off on it. It's best to not buy something if you totally don't need it. At least with how things have with the craziness of the last year, we were just trying to be good about it. Be smart. So hopefully this year we'll be able to do some things. We'll see. We'll see. You used to have an electric stove in the house you owned in California that would shock you when you touched it. Well, that's not good. You're going to round out your book list at 40. You can't bring yourself to read or listen to another one. That is really good, though. 40 books in a year? That's pretty impressive. I'm still reading my Expanse next, my was it 5th Expanse book, maybe? And I'm over halfway through it now. I do kind of want to do something new, though. I downloaded, I got a new book through Overdrive, and so I'm probably going to move over into some new stuff here soon, just to give myself a break from the series. But I'll probably set my New Year's goal at 30 for next year. We'll see where I get. Earworm alert. Earworm. Need to go in tomorrow for an eye exam. Seriously dry eyes. Not looking forward to getting the new glasses, even though I really need them. Oh, man. I hope it goes well. Managed to read 53 books. Hey, Desert. 53 books this year, thanks to COVID and all the extra time you got. Wow, that's amazing. I have books still waiting to be read. I am too addicted to TV. I got you. Needlebug's here. Hey, Karen. Welcome. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We were just talking about you the other day. Good to see you. Shaka Khan? I recently started listening to audiobooks and currently reading The Dutch House, performed by Tom Hanks. Such a soothing voice to listen to while cross-stitching. I'll bet it is. I haven't listened to anything he's narrated. The Dutch House. Interesting. Interesting. You're from the north of England and we say books. Haha. Books. Like an ooh sound? Books. And we say books, like buh, like B-U-H-K, and you say books. Books. Got to read some books. So I was actually, speaking of the north of England, actually I'm thinking about Ireland. So I was listening to a YouTube video, documentary story, whatever, last night about this guy named Chuck Feeney. Is it Feeney or Freeney? Feeney, something like that. I think it's Feeney. And he was he's like he was like a secret billionaire for most of his life, and he's given away like $8 billion over the course of his entire life. Fascinating story. He was a teenager, I think, like in the early 50s and whatnot, and he had a very entrepreneurial spirit, and he would sell different things, try to like resell stuff or make sandwiches and sell sandwiches and just a lot of different, he would just always trying to start up businesses and sell things and whatnot. And he had friends, and so they kind of grew out this business and whatnot. But he came along at the time that like airports were starting to be built, and airplane flight in the 50s was starting to become popular. So he actually is one of the original people that own a lot of those duty-free shops in airports that sell all the tax-free whatever merchandise. And he just got duty-free stores in a lot of the airports, and over time basically made a killing. By the 70s, his fortune was estimated, like modern day money, was like $1 billion. And he would have parties and stuff. He didn't want anybody to know like how rich he was. But he had, he would have parties and stuff, and people would come over and they'd swim in the pool and all these different things. And he started to become really dissatisfied with just how he was living. He didn't think it was right to live the way that he did, when he could see easily, like from his travels, just how poor a lot of the other places in the world were. He just felt really guilty about it. And so he's like, I don't need all this money. I don't want to die with all this money. So when he was like 50 years old or something like that, he formed a foundation, took some money and put it into like an investment account that would basically be able to what do you call it? That would be able to provide for his family. Although he really hasn't given much, he hasn't given a lot to his kids. They've got an education and whatnot, but he made sure that they've been, they work hard and that they do good things. And his kids are lawyers and they're financial consultants and different things. So they're all productive and successful in their own rights. But so he took all the rest of his money, which was the better part of $1 billion, and put it into a foundation, and created this foundation, and basically just started giving all this money away, primarily to like education and things like that. Well, come to find out, he's actually like and then he started traveling. He's traveling around, just kind of looking to where he could help out, and he ended up in Ireland because his grandmother had emigrated from Ireland, and he realized that back in the late 70s, early 80s. Hey, Caroline. Thank you so much for following. Appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. And he basically realized that Ireland needed a lot of help. The economy was really bad. This was around the time that you had like the Sinn Féin was starting to erupt there. There was a lot of issues going on. And I don't know if it was because it was where his grandmother was from, but the town of Limerick, there just wasn't hardly any higher education, universities, colleges in Ireland as a whole. And in this particular area, there wasn't any. So he literally like helped start a university there in Limerick, and basically funded the construction of all these amazing world-class buildings. And for the most part, I mean, over the course of his, like the last 30 years, he's invested almost $1 billion into Ireland. And a lot of it was, 3/4 of it was directed towards higher education. He felt like Ireland needed like more experts, more specialists, PhDs, people who would be capable of advancing society and attracting businesses and things like that. And in the process of doing all that, he actually was a major player in helping to broker peace in Northern Ireland. For those of us who are old enough to remember the bombings and the terrorism and whatnot that happened in Northern Ireland way back when, in the 70s and 80s, he was a big reason why that was all that was all resolved. And he's still alive today. He's like 87 years old, but he lives in an apartment in, I think it's San Francisco, and he travels around hey, Bird, good morning, Bird. just to check on all of his investments and stuff. And he's still donating. He's still directing the foundation to do things. But I was just like, that's pretty incredible. Because he could have lived a ridiculously lavish lifestyle for the rest of his life, but he just didn't feel comfortable doing that. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and he insisted that he remain anonymous when he was donating to all these Irish, to the Irish universities and whatnot, getting them up. His stipulation was, if you tell anybody that I'm behind this, I will stop giving you money. I don't want recognition. I don't want my names on the buildings. I just want to help and help your country, which is pretty freaking amazing. Anyway, I was just really inspired by that story when I was reading it yesterday. I really loved it. You have read and listened to 90 books this year, Allie? Holy cow. Congrats. What do you like to read? I just like losing myself in my stories, and since I started stitching a few months ago, I got into audiobooks so I can still get lost in my story, but also create at the same time. That's exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. I do that, and I do a lot of YouTube. I follow a lot of different topics on YouTube. Fascinating stuff. The Troubles? Yeah, so what, all you guys that are reading a lot, what are you reading? Bird, you're not reading anything. You happy? Are you happy? You look fat. You look like a fat and happy bird. You happy? Yeah? Yeah? He's looking right at me as he's chirping. Do you need something? I fed you yesterday. You should have plenty of food. He's a good bird. Like, what's the best thing you guys read this year? Like, what was, like, the thing that will stick with you because you read a really great book and, like, it's just awesome. What was that? Trying to think for myself. Man, it's been a long year reading books. I'm trying to think of what. I have to stop for a second while we're having this conversation. But yeah, Sharon, yeah, for the good of the world, isn't it wonderful? Great story. People who really live their fullest lives. The Troubles are what they called the Northern Ireland situation. Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks, Belly. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so yeah, he really got involved because he was able to bring a lot of the Irish Americans from America to help. I mean, bottom line is that there just needed to be more help, um, more opportunity, more education, just more help. I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I shouldn't even say that I know what the solution was, but I will say that in retrospect, this guy was really important to that. He actually met with the Sinn Féin leader to talk to him about what it is that they wanted, and I just think it's amazing that he's still like, that he helped over the course of like decades, that he was that important. Um, all right, I was gonna look up Goodreads. My books. Let me just look up here, see what I read this year. Um, all right, we got a lot of sci-fi, a lot of fantasy. I liked my Joe Abercrombie series, The Blade Itself, the First Law series. I really like that. Read a lot of The Last Apprentice. Still need to get going with that. Um, I really liked Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Waiting for the next book in that series. Um, I also read, and I give a thumbs up. A lot of people aren't going to like this, but I read this book, um, and The Subtle Art Not Giving an F. And I actually knew a lot of this. This became apparent to me in the last couple of years while I was trying to build my business expansion. I really, I definitely, I read that at the very end of last year, so that's pretty much it. Um, I don't know if you can read a book like that and understand what it means, because clearly I think that the people who don't like the book, I don't think they quite understand what it means. And I think that people who like the book, at least for myself, like I liked it because it reinforced what I had learned in terms of just doing your thing. Just get your stuff done and just do your thing. And don't worry about, if others don't believe in your vision. It doesn't matter as long as you do. Because certainly there were many times when maybe I should have given up on the kennel expansion. Just I never told you guys this, but there was maybe I did, I can't remember. It was back in February or March when we were like I knew COVID was coming in. I didn't know what it was going to do. But I knew it was coming. So I was scared about that. And we were finally on the cusp of being able to take our plans to the town and and actually start working on permits and stuff. And that had taken a year and a half to get to that point. And in the course of 48 hours, I kid you not, in 48 hours, I lost bank funding. They decided to pull out on the business. Maybe they saw COVID coming too and they didn't think that it would work. But they said that they weren't going to do it anymore. And I also lost my general contractor. He decided to retire. So literally like in a 48-hour span, like the project fell completely apart. And that was easily the lowest point in this whole thing. But, I just truly believed in, I needed to do this. And it was a good idea. And I just needed to find the right people to believe. And we were able to, within a week, I found a better bank that honestly I love now. They truly understand what it means to help small businesses and they're very passionate about it. And I absolutely love them. And found a contractor that hasn't been the best, but at least they took the job and we're now almost done. Well, we're done. We're open, but yeah, that was a pretty low point this year. And but if I had believed, the words of some people at that point that were telling me, just it's if it's not, signs are telling you it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Maybe you shouldn't risk all this. Maybe you shouldn't go forward with it. And I'm glad I didn't listen. Really glad I didn't listen. Here we go. Oh, you read romance stories mostly. Nice. Hubby and you read, Stephen King. Was that good? I've been wanting to read that 11/22/63 book. Oh, Desert likes it too. Okay, cool. Currently listening to The Last Days of John Lennon by James Patterson. I'm still in the beginning part of the book and hearing the history of John Lennon and the Beatles. Now, is that like a historical fiction or is that an actual nonfiction book? I mainly read horror. Swan Song by Robert McCammon was the best book I read all year about the world after nuclear war. Oh, okay, cool. Swan Song, okay. But I also really enjoyed The Splendid and the Vile, which is a book about Churchill and his family during World War II. Oh, nice. Where the Crawdads Sing. I've heard that one multiple times. 3 times? Really? Wow. Hey, Marcis, what are you hoping to get finished on Reaper today? 646. this color, a little bit of color that needs throughout. So I'm working, whoops, I should show you. So now what I'm doing is the way Reaper works, and you can kind of see it, is you can see how the color comes down. All these different colors come down. They're just kind of meet and go back up. So I'm just picking a color and just taking it all the way down and then coming over here and taking it up the other side. So I'm just kind of working back and forth on this as I go up. So, you know, it'd be nice to get 300 or 400 stitches done on this today. Be nice. What is everybody thankful for? I just told you guys my story. So you got that one, and this. I'm thankful for the Twitch stream. I'm thankful for having this place to hang out with you guys. Because this has been really awesome. Getting to know a lot of you guys. Putting together a community here. It's been pretty cool. This pattern is a rocking and a rolling today. I mean, from a frame perspective, keep bumping it. It still wants to move a lot. Is it on that? Nope, it's not on that. I know I keep messing with it because it's clearly not stable someplace. So many things to tighten. What is? Oh, I see. It's rocking on the bottom. Okay, it's not flat. Let me put some papers or something underneath of that. There we go. That's better. All right, I just gotta remember to pick them papers up. I will remember. Hey, Dueling Needles. Hello, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brilliant. Brilliant. And for those of you guys who weren't here the other day, I have been stitching on Old World Map 2, which I'm very excited about. And it's good to be back. It's good to have it back. Because it has been a long road with that project. Okay, good. Did I bring 647? I thought I brought 647 up when I went downstairs. 646, you jumble, you messy jumble, you. Where did I put? Ah, here it is. Brilliant. You slept through Christmas. You and Santa, after he finished all of his deliveries. Oh, thankful for finding Jules and sharing it. The videos and streams really helps when you're stuck at home. That's cool. In general, being able to decompress and stay home for most of the year, grow food, stitch, and one thing I will mention later. Ah. Hey, Becky. Hey, Winian. Nonfiction true story. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I don't want to read that Hernandez book, though. That's a sad story. I don't like sad stories. You love Reaper. Nice. Got some of my patterns last night. You're the one. Thanks. Appreciate that. I saw that. Penguin Party, Ballet Tree, Squirrel, and his nut, and the wolf. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you so much. Which you have partially gridded already and will be starting at some point today. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Sharon, you remind me of my mom in the best of ways, as we would say, you would fit in at the family reunion. Nice. Or you and my mom would be in the same police lineup. Nice. You thankful for Christmas being a beautiful sunny day so your grandmother and great-grandmother could light some fire for the gnomes and Santa. Nice. Or could come light a fire for the gnomes and Santa. Nice. That's awesome. How far did I get? Oh, with Old World Map 2? Do I have it here? Do I have it done? Oh, I have it here. So, if you guys missed the Christmas night stream, I pulled out where I'm at on Old World Map 2. And so I've got about 400 or 500 stitches done. A lot of this. When I picked this up after not working on it for forever, I just barely had the DA. I'm not even sure what letter that's supposed to be, and then a little bit up here. So I filled in this, and then all this yellow, for the most part, was filled in during the stream. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit later too. But I'm super happy that I got going on that. That will help me get my floss organized too as I try to figure that out. Figure it out. All right, we're going to pull out some 647 now. I was going to go all the way across, but I need some 647 right here, so I might as well just do it. Do it. You need to do Squirrel and Penguin Party at some point. Nice. I haven't seen Penguin Party come to life yet, so that would be really cool seeing that. Ah. Oh, I made small bits here, but that's okay. Just getting my floss ready here. Got your labs back yesterday. My labs remote for the first time in a decade. Wow, that's awesome. Your son used to love penguins? Nice. Okay. But if y'all haven't seen my end of year video, there's definitely going to be some finishes this year. I mean, I had 2 finishes last year, but really just the one that I started and finished, the raising the flag. But this year I hope to finish this project, Rainy Waterloo. I am going to just push through and finish Boba Fett. I'm so close. I was looking at how much progress I made last year, and I'm like, I'm just going to finish him. Especially since he popped out on on The Mandalorian this year. I was like, well, I'm so close. I'll just chip away at them a little bit at a time. Get those done, and maybe some smaller projects, like a lot smaller projects that I've got built up that I could stitch on this year. But finish that top row on Old World Map 2. That's another goal that I've had for the last 2 years and haven't managed to finish. But golly gee willikers, with the help of Pattern Keeper, I shall get that done. Oh, Topher's outside. I hear his very distinctive bark. There we go. There we go. And here. Yes. I know, Bird. You're so loud. We took the tree down last night. Or I should say I did. I'm always like, Christmas is over, let's take the tree down so we can do other things. So Binky was a little disoriented because she's like, what? This has been up now for a month. Half my life here. Where's my tree going? We were talking about how Binky the dog has settled into life where if I'm up here stitching, she wants to be in her bed in the other room. She used to always want to be where I'm at, but as long as I'm upstairs, she's okay with just hanging out in the other room and doing her thing, which is sleeping. Good for her. I'm okay with that. She didn't have to come out and say hi and do anything. She gets to do whatever she wants. And then when she gets hungry, she starts barking at me. So then I know when to feed her. Yeah, Binky's in the other room. She's over in the bedroom across the hallway here, in her bed. I can't see her, but that's where she's at. If I only worked on Old World Map 2 and no other projects, how long do you think it would take to finish it? Probably at least 5 years. I would say at least 5 years. What would be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen. See, I have issues with. I'd love to be able to at some point, like if it could go on a big, huge quilting frame, which I just don't think I have room for it, and I don't think I'd get it tight enough. Because if I had it to where I only could see like about maybe a page at a time, but it'd have to be 5 feet long, and I don't think they make roller frame stuff that long. Now I know I could do. I could end up doing. Where am I? I could end up with. What's the word? Make some of my own. Could do that. But part of me just wonders if it would just be too big of a project to put on a frame. Right now, I just end up holding it in, in a hoop, in a small hoop at that. Because I can get a whole page in one small hoop. It would take me quite some time. So it's definitely the old lifetime project. Forever. Forever. In the words of Squints. I see sometimes I on Facebook with different Facebook groups I'm part of, like with the Golden Kites and different things. I'll see these massive projects that people have finished, and they're like, "Yeah, I did it. Yeah, it only took me 2 years." And I'm like, "Holy cow! Like you just devoted all that time." I mean, it's amazing. I'm thrilled. I'm proud of them. It looks amazing. But they must be stitching like several hours every day on a piece. I'm still not quite there where I can do that. If I reach, or when I reach the point where I can stitch for hours at a time and I'm home more often, I'll definitely stream more. No reason not to stream that kind of stuff. Okay. Come here. There you go. There you go. So, yeah, stunning piece when I'm done? Absolutely. We know exactly where it'll hang when I'm done, if we still are living here. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a tapestry. It will be a tapestry. Oh, that reminds me. Hubby and I need to get a picture taken of that project before the year is out here. Because we take pictures every so often. So I hold it up and get that picture taken. I'll have to put it on, show it on YouTube, or put it on the blog and whatnot. Well, one of the things I was talking about in the other in the stream we did on Christmas was I want to really keep track more of the number of stitches I'm doing, how much progress I'm making, and like with Pattern Keeper you can choose you can see like your percentage of piece completed. Like on this one I'm right at about 72% on this piece, and I only have about 13,000 stitches to go, which that's less than it took to finish Raising the Flag. So I'm pretty pleased with that. That's another reason why I know that I'm going to get this done this year, as long as I keep working on it. But I want to like have some sort of like on the wall, like here's where I'm at, because I invariably, like last year I was really distracted, so I got, honestly, like the first half of the year got very little stitching done. And now I feel like I'm coming back to all of it again. And I want to keep track of it for motivation purposes. I think it's good. PK says you're at 71.5% on Ninetale? Wow, dude, that's awesome. You love it when I stream for more than 2 hours. I don't know what it is. Find your voice very soothing to listen to when I'm either doing my cross stitch or your diamond paintings. Nice. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Oh, you're committed. Oh, that's awesome. You're committed to following me through the whole entire journey. Let's buckle up, enjoy the ride. Thanks. Appreciate that. You found a Beauty and the Beast pattern on Etsy. It would take years, but it has lots of scenes that make it up so I can pick out the smaller scenes to do. Well, that's cool. I just started your 4th year on Stitch Retreat, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. I am 93% complete. That's awesome, dude. You should finish at the beginning of 2021. That is amazing. That is amazing. Very cool. The sounds on your phone up louder than usual. Husband just poked his head in wondering when I got a bird. Oh. Is it Popeye or Sailor? I don't even know which one you are now, to be honest with you. Like, I forgot which bird you are. But maybe we'll rename you. What shall we name you? Captain Big Mouth? Captain Big Mouth. But I cannot fault him for singing like this because he has thrived by himself. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy for him. I didn't think he had it in him, to be personally honest. I didn't think that he would survive losing his brother. But he's been like, you know what? I like it. Got the whole room to myself now. Can get food whenever I want. He's not pushing me around all the time. That is the cool thing about larger projects with lots of smaller bits. You can pick one scene at a time. True, true. Skyfox is still on your first hate. That is such an accomplishment, though. Captain Chirp. Captain Chirpy. Chirpy Chirperson. Chirpy McGee. Princess Zelda followed. Welcome, Princess. That is awesome. I hope you enjoy the stream. Princess Chirpy. Princess Chirpy. Chipperson. Chirperson. Chirpy McGee. What do you think your name should be, little one? Hmm? Do, 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 do. Leonard. I was thinking Lawrence. You were on the Haid website, found one, but it seems scary. Are they still having their 50% off sale? It's funny, I have not found the desire to like go off and buy more patterns the way that I normally do. I think I'm finally sort of saturated, but then also having all my own designs, I have so many in the wings now, it's ridiculous. So we've got to finish some to get others rocking and rolling. So I got like Apothecary Shop is loaded up on Pattern Keeper, and that is definitely after Rainy Waterloo Place. That's going to be the one that gets the next bit of where am I at? Where am I at? Where am I at? The next bit of attention. Okay, hold on. I gotta just double check where I'm at. I lost my place and my mind. I lost my mind and my place. Okay, that's where I'm at. Okay. Okay, good. Nice. I'm at 95 stitches. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, there I am. All right. Let me move this. Captain Chirpy Pants. There we go. Now that makes sense. Now that looks right. It's so peaceful to cross stitch. It really is. I just love it. So I think I'm going to start uploading all my streams onto YouTube. Those folks that just love Stitch with Me's, there's no reason not to. I'm not sure why I haven't been doing it. I don't know. Okay, put this up here. Ah! That scared me for a second. And then we pop over the 100 stitch mark. Let me just zoom out and see what I have. Should probably come up here and put in some 647. Yeah, because I got some 640. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Lawrence is your son's confirmation name, patron of comedians. Seriously? I didn't know that was patron of comedians. I do find that I'm totally fine with working just 1 or 2 projects at a time as well. Nice. It's peaceful until your husband is sitting next to you showing you everything posted on Facebook. Allie Belly's husband, stop showing her everything on Facebook. I mean, I know he's not there right now, but it's how I used to stitch many moons ago, and I found it just more relaxing and productive to work that way. That's cool, Sharon. Yay, Sharon. Gonna stream today. Nice thing the hubby is fine with you putting Twitch on the TV. Nice. Cool. All right. Let's see here. Let me readjust my... Hold on a second. There we go. A little bit more taut there. All right. So I'm going to come up here. And... Okay. Let me get some of these. I gotta flip this over and tuck some of these threads in, but I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Did I spy my pen earlier? I don't know if I did or not. Every time I say, oh, I'm getting organized, I get more disorganized. All right, I don't quite have it up here. That's okay. I am going to figure out. So I got this here. I got to stitch that right there. Then I got to come all the way up. Let's see here. Let me just do this. I'm going to be wasteful of my floss, but if I'm going to stitch this one stitch that's way up here, I need to get this one in first, just to truly hold my place. Okay, let's zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between this and this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll do this one up here. Come down here. Nice. All right. Creative minds are disorganized. Man, I am so disorganized. For Christmas, the gang at work got me like desk organizers. That's how disorganized I am. It's pretty bad. But most of that is construction stuff that I can start putting away, so that'll be good. But yeah, I need to devote some time to getting all that taken care of. Let me go back over here. Do this one. It's really nice once I discovered sort of the pattern of this pattern, as far as at least on the outside, away from where the face is, that it is just kind of these swaths of color, the same color. I wasn't seeing that when I had it in a hoop. It was not making itself apparent. Hey, Pam. Your husband doesn't speak to you all day until you start stitching? Yeah, right? Bless my husband, but I like to walk, I listen to audiobooks with my headphones on. So if my headphones are on, I'm listening to something. And he always starts talking to me, so I always have to stop and go, what? At least we have a system where he's comfortable and I'm comfortable with saying, listen, honey, I'm listening to my book. I don't need to see every video on Facebook. Let's see, so I've got this done, that done, that done. Okay. I need a drink. Let's see here. Doop, boop, 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 boop. Okay, so if I do this, I come over here. That's the third one in. There. I think I'm going to call the bird Captain Chirpy Pants. I think that should be his official name. Captain Chirpy Pants. There we Been a little wasteful with floss going up and down, back and forth, but I don't care because I'm making progress, making progress. Okay, Becky. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And look forward to seeing you on the next stream. You have a good rest of your day. Working one color at a time on the cats. You have 774 stitches left in the current color. Nice. Because you got your friend coming, you got to get it done. You have 8 of 21 colors completed so far. Nice. When you first started watching my weekly updates on YouTube and saw me working on the Reaper, you purchased the pattern yourself and you're at 16%. Nice. It's great when you pull it out and you can see what yours will look like. Yeah. That's awesome. I know it's kind of a dark pattern, you know, it's sort of a dark and evil looking pattern, but, you know, I'm not afraid. And like I said, my friend's going to love this. Something totally unique for him. There we go. All right, let's pull it up there. Calm down there. Calm down there. Ah. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna go back and grab the 646 and come down and work on that. So I'm gonna put this up for a little bit. I have no idea what those colors are. I really don't. I'm not sure why I jumped in and did it. I didn't highlight it, so I'm going to have to figure out what it was. It's pretty dark. Could be like a 317 or something. Again, I don't know why I did it. Silly me. Silly me. Oh, I gotta get back in the inverter today. Stretch my back out. I also need to get myself into a little bit of a workout regimen. Doesn't have to be that big of a deal. Just something. A little bit of something. Every journey starts with a single step, right? Or my favorite saying is every waterfall starts with one drop of water. That one I heard from The Power of One, from when I was one of my favorite books of all time. Make some good progress today. I'm at 120 stitches on this project. I'm pretty happy with it. Want yours done for Halloween? Might be done in 2022. Yeah, don't. I mean, it takes longer than you believe. I mean, that's for sure. Reaper's coming for me 2020. Yeah, exactly. Coming for the year. Oh, your friend can't come in January? Ah, okay. Well, that takes the pressure off. What apps, programs are you all using? I didn't know they existed. I only use paper patterns. Yeah, so this is Pattern Keeper. And I think that's got to be the most popular one. But these guys can tell you some other ones that can be used on iOS. If you have an Android device or Google device, it will work. So a tablet or a phone. But it's called Pattern Keeper. And basically, you load up a digital PDF pattern and it loads it, literally digitally loads it, and um, incorporates the symbols and everything in. Like you can see, like everything that's green right there is all this color 646, which I have 1,034 stitches to use. There's a on Facebook, there's a Pattern Keeper Facebook group, and but it's, you can find it on your Google Play Store if you have Android. But yeah, like Cars said, bought Android device Thanksgiving 2019, have used Pattern Keeper throughout 2020, saw a lot of progress. You're hoping to get out and get active when your walking bike gets here, maybe another 3 to 4 weeks, should ship mid-January. Nice, those things are cool. But yeah, ever since I started using this, I'm definitely seeing lots of progress, especially for anything that is, well, honestly, for every pattern that I use it on. And I use it for like 90% of my patterns. Not all of them are Pattern Keeper compatible, so there is that. So awesome. Hooray. I need to track down a few of these colors that I need to fill in, like down here and whatnot. That'll be cool when that gets done. It's gonna be so awesome. So excited. But I've decided to say that the progress I'm making right now is, I'm calling this progress for 2021. Because I decided that instead of starting my progress on January 1st, or on January 1st, you know, really for me, my progress every week, I end it at my video and I start the new week as soon as my video is done. So technically what that means is when I finished my end of year video, all my stuff that I've been working on, that's when I should start my progress bar for the next year. There we go. Oh, you have an Android, so it's perfect? Oh man, you will love it. It's on your Play Store. Um, and it's about, I want to say it's like $8 or maybe 10 or 12. Whatever it is, it's worth it. Trust us. But you have to have digital patterns. So you may have to go back and get some digital patterns, or um, some folks are really cool, and they'll some designers, they'll say, if you have proof that you bought the physical pattern, they'll send you the digital pattern, so you can put it in Pattern Keeper. So just check with the people that you bought the patterns from, and see if they'll be kind enough to do that. Because I've had I've had Cross Stitch Collectibles did that for me, and this project, they did that for me because they're awesome. And let me zoom this in a little bit. And it just makes so much of a difference. It's not even, I like to say, it's not even funny. Well, I don't know why it would be funny, but it's awesome. Pattern Keeper is the best. I got it recently, and the first month was free. Am I paying for it every month? Do I pay for it every month? I don't even know. Hey, Linda, what's up? Good morning. The stitching year, December to December, like a fiscal year, only more fun. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, okay. The first month is a trial period. After that, you need to pay a one-time fee to continue use. Thank you. Very cool. Very cool. I think it took me like 3 months, 4 months at least. When I got it, I knew I should use it, and I'm like, oh, I was so set in my ways. I liked my paper patterns. It took me a while. Kind of like it took me a while to get the frame up and going. It took me months to get this actually up and running to where I was using it. And but once I did, I discovered how much I love it. So it's really nice having all your patterns in one place too, so you don't have to have the pattern. I mean, I've misplaced pages and stuff, and it's nice being able to not have to worry about that. You only have to worry about if you misplace your phone, but you can do backups, upload your progress. Grasshopper, I've come a long way. I have, Sensei. I have. Especially this year. This year is probably like my biggest growth year, um, of kind of catching up to a lot of you guys in terms of just how I stitch. I was Captain Grumpy Pants for a while there. Didn't want to change my ways. Embrace the new. Embrace the progress. Very cool. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay. You learn the parking method. Oh, you need to learn the parking method. Yes, check out Needlebug's videos on YouTube. She has a lot of really great tutorials there. Hey, Shani. Good morning, good morning. No worry, Desert. You love your tablet and Pattern Keeper. Best decision for you as well. Belly started stitching again this year after 20 years. Learned about Pattern Keeper and needle minders. Nice. I also picked up cross stitching again this year. It's been about 10 years for you. Wow. Buying needle minders are as addictive as buying patterns. Oh man, I haven't really gotten into that. That would be another. I have needle minders around here somewhere, but I don't really use them like I should. I tend to port my needle, especially this needle. I really like this needle. Port my needle from one place to another. Loving the Reaper progress. Thanks, Shani. Me too. I think this was also the year that I finally had to give in and get glasses, reading glasses for stitching. Oh well. Yeah, I definitely feel like I finally understand this pattern. Now that I do, progress is fast. Faster. I'm not going to say fast. But if I stitch, let's see, I've got 13,000 to go, and say I finish 500 a week, just 500 a week, the piece would be done in 26 weeks, so halfway through the year, if I only do 500 a week. So that's definitely doable. Definitely doable. Oh, getting caught up in overhangs here. These 2 stitches. But it's still a little bit of a competition between working on this one and then changing out the bars and putting Dachshund on here because I need to do some Dachshund this week too. Ooh. Is it 6 foot? Looks like it's 646. Let me zoom in. Going over to the other side here. Let's see. 0. Okay, slightly off on that. Let's see here. Like, where did the needle go? There it is. I think this is 646. Let me look here. Pretty sure it is. Yeah. All right. Oops. Oh, made your own needle minders from a Disney pen that you had a duplicate of. Huh. I didn't know if I would like needle minders, so I bought some magnets at Michael's and like the idea, especially on your standing frame. Very cool. Okay, see you later, Ellie Belly. Have fun. Car says, making is a great option. I've made several myself from the Disney collector pins and others you found. Whenever I see a great pin, I buy it to make it into a needle minder. Cool. She's like, don't get me into another craft. That's funny. It's cross-stitch related, so go for it. Make needle minders. Enabling mode turned on. And let's just be clear, that wasn't me this time. You know just what to say to ease my conscience. Consider me enabled. You finished WIP 18 for the year and working on number 19. Nanette, you're crazy. I could get this one done if I work on nothing else the rest of the year. Good for you, Nanette. That's awesome. All right, Truffles, we'll see you later. Yep, absolutely. Everybody stay safe. We'll see you. Carr says, husband helps me out with needle minders as he takes the pin part of the back and then you add the magnets. Nice. Very cool. Oh, yeah. In our last episode, I surmised if I could get my husband to actually frame my pieces for me. I think he would do it. Pretty sure he'll do it. I just need to talk to him about it. Like, I'll get them all prepped and everything. I'll get them cleaned. I'll get them ironed. And then he can frame them. I think he'd be better at it than me. I think I did the wrong color here. It's supposed to be a lot darker. Put this super white color in. I'm going to have to figure out what it was. I'm going to go back, figure out what it was, and correct it. I did it there, and I did it. No, I think I just did it here for the most part. So we'll get that fixed up too. Thinking of learning how to make bowstrings since you can't really just go to the store and buy them. They have to be custom made, like you need in a craft. I did not know bowstrings had to be custom made. That seems crazy. It seems weird that you can't get like somebody doesn't manufacture like certain size, certain tension, certain length or whatever. That just seems crazy. I did not know that. Husband enables any craft project I decide needs to be done if it keeps me out of his hair when football comes on TV. Haha, nice. I'm going to watch some football later today. Kind of getting back into it a little bit. Hockey starts in like 2 weeks. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the Blues this year. They're going to be so good. I hope. We'll find out. Except for so many of the games are going to be on late because they're in the Western Division. So see how that color is totally wrong? It's totally wrong. So I'll fix it. So let me put this up here. Start over with another 646. Frog? Oh no. Ribbit. Okay. Actually, let me start down here. Work my way up. That will be better use of my floss. (2021) resolution: no frogs for anyone the whole year. Oof, that would be nice. Maybe not much. Part of a ladybug wing. Hopefully. Hopefully. Go. Do. Anybody watch that new Pixar movie Soul yet? My husband is begging for me to watch it. I know I'm going to love it, but I also know I'm probably going to cry my eyes out. So I might watch it tonight after football. Get a little closer here. Get a little closer. Go. You know what's nice about, well, for me, I get a 4-day weekend here, and then next week I get a 4-day weekend. It's really nice. So I've been very productive this 4-day weekend. That usually means next 4-day weekend I won't be as productive, but maybe that just means I'll be stitching this, which to me it is being productive. So I'm okay with that. Because as many projects as we've gotten done around the house this weekend, we can get. Actually, I think one of our projects is next week. We're going to go to the storage place, and start pulling stuff back out. So much confetti. No! It's amazeballs. Cool. You don't watch modern TV? I don't watch modern TV. Except for Mandalorian and anything Pixar. Play the violin, and yes, my bow is made from 180 horsetail hairs from one of your neighbor's horses. Wow, not the easiest thing to make. All I can say is take your time. Holy amazing. That is crazy. They don't have like synthetic stuff, or is it just not as good? I never even thought about that. Okay. There we go. Amazing videos out there. So in archery bows, is it synthetic? That reminds me of fly tying and fly fishing. Someday I would like to get back into fishing. But when I do, I'm gonna actually catch and eat my own fish. So I won't do catch and release. Well, I can do catch and release, but I'm not a fan. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll become more ruthless as an older person. I stopped fishing because I felt like I was hurting fish. That was like a decade ago. So right now I don't really have time for it unless we start taking more trips up into the mountains at some point, which that's not coming anytime soon. Ah. Do I know how to clean fish? Someone clean it for you? Well, I haven't done that in like 10 plus years, so I'd have to learn how to clean fish, but easy enough. Um, easy enough. What the heck? For some reason, the auto mod wouldn't allow that comment. Can't play a musical instrument to save her life. That's stupid. That's stupid. Stupid auto mod. Don't know why it did that. It's very expensive right now. They're backed up 8 months. Gee whiz. Bowstrings are backed up, and arrow making supplies. You build your own arrows. I've seen people build their own arrows. Absolutely, because I know that's why like you always want to get those arrows back because they're kind of expensive. Same thing with flies. and fly fishery. So I would have to learn how to clean my own fish, which I totally would. I don't have a problem with that. I just wasn't, if I'm being practical and bringing fish home for dinner or something. That's why, like, someday it'd be cool to live in a place where, like if we decide to move to like Wyoming or Montana or who knows where, um, living someplace where we can, that's something that I can do. My husband can do his hikes. Well, I think that would be like an amazing way to sort of round out. And because of Starlink, we'd still be able to do internet stuff. So by then, it'll be a lot easier to do it then. So, what's up, Captain Chirpy Pants? What are you doing? Yeah. Oh, great. Okay, cool, Sharon. And teacher is all about if you play the instrument, you take care of the instrument. She is old school. She sent me videos on how to do it. Took 3 weeks, made 2, 1 for backup. That's cool. Well, I agree. I think you should be self-sufficient in that regard. Here we go. Yeah, now that I got this 646 in here, I can really see that I need to fix this color. No problem. Ah, get in there. Get in there. Nice. But yeah, boy, that really stands out. The light colored stuff there. That is too crazy. It'll be easy to get in there and fix it. Then, can I zip all the way up here? Or did I do that already and not realize it? I think I did. I think I did all of that already. I did. So I'm gonna count it as today's stitching, but it's not technically today's stitching. Nice. Nice. So now I just need to get in and track down. Really, a lot of it is this 168 needs to be tracked down. There's so much, and then there's 318, 648. Oh yeah, I can get all that 168 done. That will be cool. Let me look here real quick. Do I have my, okay, let me see. So on Reaper, not a single color has been zeroed out yet. 648 and 3371 have over 1,000 stitches, but everything's under 1,000 stitches, which is cool. Yay! That's awesome. I'm excited. Anybody doing WhipGo? What's WhipGo? You guys told me that as last time, but I forgot what it is. I'm going to learn to make bowstrings this year since they cost like $50. Wow. All right, Marcis, we'll see you later. And Sharon, whenever you're up and ready, just need to get the chicken out of the oven. When you start up, I will roll my stream over to yours. You have 6 colors zeroed out of 69. Wow. That's cool. That is very cool. I love that aspect of Pattern Keeper, being able to figure that out. If I pull out of there and look at, like, say, I'll pull up Old Roadmap 2 on here. You guys can kind of see, I mean, it's Gigantor, but so like 3866, I start stitching on it. I have 57, almost 58,000 stitches to do with just that color. If I look at my color thing, yeah, there's a lot of ones that are like, well, 453 is 26,000 stitches. 647 is 20,000. 648 is 20,000. 712 is 28,000. 762 is 21,000. Got a bunch of 8,000s. 927 is like 17,000. Yeah. Whoa, 3072 is 49,000. Dang. I better see if I can get a cone of that. It's actually a really good idea. Oh, 3866, yeah, it's 58,000. Maybe I'll get cones of these. It's probably a really good idea for this pattern. I use it for forever. Oh yeah, it's a big ill thing. Very sorry, guys. Noise. Oh, stretchy. Yeah, maybe I should look at some cones for these colors, but I need a lot of. I didn't realize. I actually never looked at the stitch count for those. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Very nice, because there's 200 colors on this. Go all the way to the beginning here. Yeah. 452 and 450. Well, 453, yeah, 26,000 stitches. It's nuts. WhipGo is cross-stitch bingo with current whips. The group I'm in, everyone creates their own board, sets goals and rewards when meeting their goals. Nice. That's cool. I like that idea. That's a really neat thing. It's a really neat thing. Very cool. Alrighty. We're just kind of finishing up here. Whenever Sharon gets all loaded up, we will be ready to switch over. I'll have to warm my coffee up and drink a little bit. Fill up my glass and then get back and do some more on this before I start watching football. Actually, I can watch football up here. What am I talking about? I was thinking I wasn't going to do that. I'm probably going to end up staying upstairs most of the day. I know my husband doesn't like it when I do that, but I do like my alone time. Switching to auxiliary power in 3, 2, 1. There's a WhipGo 2021 on Facebook. Nice. There's a Facebook group for everything nowadays. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Alrighty, so it is. So next stream, I'm gonna stream Thursday morning. So New Year's Eve morning will be my next one, and normal time, normal bat time, normal bat place, and we'll see. I have no clue as to what I'll stitch on at that point. I'm gonna try and rotate my pieces more with this. Hopefully, if I stitch a bunch more on this today, then maybe I'll probably throw Dachshund on it this next week on the roller frame. So we'll get going on that. As I yawn, I'm sorry. Oh. All right. Looks like Sharon is just about up and running. She's partially on. Now you're off. Now you're back on.
You can see me, can hear me like this good. The light on my subject here.
Nice. Are you working on? Looks like you're working on Stormtrooper, maybe. Cool. All right, guys, we are going to end my stream, and I'm going to start hosting Sharon's stream, O to Be Purple. If you guys want to hop on over to her stream now, that would be awesome. I'm going to upload this stream to YouTube today, so if you missed the beginning or whatnot, you can totally catch on there. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me and having a great conversation and all the stitching that we got done. And I hope you continue to get a lot of great stitching. We are we're steaming right into 2021. So thank you guys so much. And I will see you all on Thursday morning, if I can find my mouse. Take care, guys. Be safe. See ya.